All right, 4/16/24. The old box truck. Had this thing over 20 years. It's the first time it's ever made me diagnose it, so I get it running again. But it did not leave me stranded. And a good truck. It's a 94. Good hell. Shit's gotta go wrong sometime, I guess. Anyways, flickery dickory. Down up underneath that cover there is where the TBI is. TBI is probably, arguably, the biggest junk that GM ever put out. That's why it didn't last very long and was replaced by the Vortec and then the LS after that. So, yeah, replace the ignition control module. It's down underneath that cap right there on the distributor. Yep, But in the time before I noticed it and the time diagnosing what was going on and looking it up because it was very strange symptoms, it ended up cooking out the fuel pump relay, which is not there. The remainder of the wire is there. I wanted to stop my Yellow Wolf playing and get some of this on video because I totally forgot. But anyways, so because the ignition control module controls so much, and the power circuit also goes through not only the ignition control module, but also it goes through the oil pressure switch. So the momentary is the ignition control module, and ECM when you turn on the key initially. In a couple seconds, it kicks off the fuel pump and waits for it to start, and then the power is supplied through the orange wire, the oil pressure switch, up to the relay, which is here next to this one. It looks exactly like the old one did. Now see, it's such an oddball that I had to find what I could find, and all I ended up finding was an early Vortec. So I had to switch out the wire and the connector to do it nicely and not be a friggin' Mickey Mouse, because that's not what I do. And that's what this video is for, is to help people not be Mickey Mouse. All it does is bring you more problems down the road. Don't be janky with it. Do it as well as you can. You have to replace the damn wire harness. You have to have it all sweet new wiring and spend 17 days doing this shit, and then never end up getting it back together because you open up a can of worms. But I figured this was a good video because this is the kind of stuff that confuses the shit out of most people. I know there's a couple of you out there that understand relays. I get that, but most people that understand relays aren't gonna be watching this video because you know what you're fucking doing. So don't talk shit in the comments. Don't be lame. We know there's 3 or 4 of you out there in the world that understand relays, but this video ain't for you. Anyways, those of you that don't understand relays, they are tricky, I'll give you that. But they're also very simple. There's a diagram on all of them. They're normally always the same number designation for what each number is doing. They number it, they don't color it, because every manufacturer has different colors. Keep that in mind. But the numbers are still representing the same thing, okay? Okay. Yeah, 2 wires that come through and they cause an electromagnetic field, which closes the switch and lets the power run through the relay to whatever it is you're powering. In this case, it's the fuel pump. Okay, so you got a wire that's always hot. Then you switch on the ignition. It cycles your pump via power through the ECM momentarily and the ignition control module. Then when you fire it up, it supplies the voltage through, in this case, the oil pressure switch. This is all stuff you find in the wire diagram. You just gotta calmly go over it. Don't let the simple shit confuse the hell out of you. Just, it's almost like coloring, and if it helps, draw up your own on a piece of paper so that your head gets it memorized before you come out here and look at it and lose your mind again. Because that's the kind of shit that ends up costing people a bunch of money because they just can't wrap their head around it. Relays are simple, and there's all kinds of videos out there that are just dedicated to relays and show you how they work in a cartoon format and everything. But diagnosing the shit when you start to get crazy symptoms is really what you need to pay attention to. Don't just go throwing parts at it, because then again, you're going backwards. You're gonna end up spending a bunch of money, hacking a bunch of shit you need to hack, and end up going backwards. In this case, I ended up going to the junkyard. It cost me $2 to get in the junkyard. The old boy let me out with the relay for that same $2. And the wire, which is this. And the new style relay. Junkyard, sitting in the Florida sun for God knows how long. This thing still works. This is the old TBI. Specifically off this 94 454. All TBI relays, as far as pickups, from 4.3 to 7.4 are all the same. Till a certain year when Vortec took over, and then they changed them to the square style. TBI. Vortec. I numbered them for the video, not for me, for you. Okay. And give you the color codes. There's a 30 is orange, 85 is green, 86 is black, 87 is gray. Gray wire runs the fuel pump. Orange is the constant hot. Green and black run the electromagnet. And the red in the middle, which is 87A, is the ignition. 10-4. Here's all the supplies we needed. This is Florida, so there you go. Thermocell. If you live in Florida, thermocells are a must, okay? This time of year. Mosquitoes are fucking assholes. They come in sideways and they suck and they don't leave you alone. They don't give a fuck if you fucking kill them. And hell, anymore, they seem to evolve. You gotta go slow just to kill the bastards. They're punks. But thermocell keeps them away for the most part. And if you put a big bright light 15 feet from you, that kind of attracts a lot of bugs too, so that helps. And you can't go wrong, triple it up with bug spray. Just saying, okay? So, remnants of diagnostic test leads, scissors for shrink tube. Can't remember what I used the crimpers for. Nothing on this, actually. No crimpers, they're just out of my electric bag. Automatic wire strippers. Pick to get the connector apart by popping those little tibby tabbies right there on top of each one of those terminals that are in there. You can't see them. There's no way I get you to see them, but on the outer edges of each of those terminals that are in there, there's a little teeny tab in there. You lift it up gently, you can pull the wire out the back. That one's only halfway in. Waterproof. Connector. Well, nothing's waterproof at a certain depth, but these are. It's sea level. Just saying. Okay? Oh, look out. Broken shit. Oh yeah. Doesn't take a genius to tell that's bad. But I'll show the testing in another video. Right now we're just showing you how to do a decently clean install so nobody's making fun of you when you lift the hood up to check the oil, whatever it is. Or if you break down again on the road and yeah, somebody sees all the janky shit and oh yeah, I wonder what's wrong with this thing. Somebody's been working on it. It is a Mickey Mouse who wants to rush through it so they can hurry up and watch TV or whatever the fuck it is that you do. Anyways, point of this whole video is just to do shit as well as you can. Anything that you do, doesn't matter if it's you know, feeding a dog, mowing the grass, fucking your old lady, do it as well as you can. It's just it'll just turn out better for you in the end. Now, there are exceptions to the rule. You don't need to drink better than everybody else, or you know, be a fucking worse of a chicken head than half the motherfuckers running around here in the dark at 4 o'clock in the morning with their damn headlamps on. But anything worth doing is worth doing right. Use your head for something besides a hat rack. I'll even post this shit up so I can show you the rest of this install. Solder gun, solder, shrink tube. Very important. You got a hot wire, always hot. I mean, rub it on against the freaking body and grounds and all kinds of bullshit. Disconnect the goddamn negative cable of the battery. Disconnect the negative cable. Disconnect the negative cable. Disconnect the negative cable. Disconnect the negative cable. colors also changed from the TBI to Vortec 2, or I just didn't get the exact relay, which I think might have been what happened, out of the Vortec to switch to this TBI. You gotta line up, your little tibby tabby goes to the outside. That. And you'll hear it click. If I can get the damn thing in the hole straight. Quit embarrassing me, damn thing. Get your ass in there. There we go. Clickety clickety. Click click click. Yeah, that's my black wire. I'm getting tan them. Black is supposed to be 86. 86, yo ass, black wire. Check it again in your relay. 30 to 30, 85 to 85, 86, 87, 86, 87. Should go down there nice. Click into place. That was this wire harness. Chopped off because they gave me very little. It was like right there. Chop it off as close as you can. Soldered the new ones in place. Shrink tube on each wire, and then shrink tube a couple of them together, and then shrink tube all of them together. I think it's too wide. Yep. Pain in the ass. Now we get another hole or two or something. One more thing I wanted to, it's not as much of a requirement as I would consider this disconnecting the battery when you're working on this thing or anything, but it's some of the best advice I can think of as far as this subject goes, wrenching on anything, especially jet skis. When you're zip tying shit up, either go out of your way and turn the end of the zip tie around to where you're least likely to brush an arm up against it or grab a hold of it without being aware or any of that. Because man, there's something about a cut off zip tie that just slashes the shit out of you every time. They don't snip off dull, they always snip off sharp. And you know, it's for you down the road. Number one, you're going back to work on your own thing if it's your own thing, and every time you can go without taking a zip tie all the way down your forearm is a good day. It's a good thing. Now, you do this shit professionally and you're working on jet skis and you're sticking your arms down in those tight places, you always get gashed up, and this shit does not feel good. I don't give a shit who you are or how crazy you are. Like it was already there. Win an electrical job. You can too. Just try and do it nice.